Hey, good morning wherever you are. This is Stoner Morning Show. It's a parody comedy show. We're not really playing ourselves, but we are. So anyway, yeah, we don't condone any. I don't know. Do what's right is what the real message is. That's what we're here to say. It's Saturday, March 12th, and I'm currently well, right now I'm alone, but I've also been dealing with thoughts of hopelessness. Not all the time, just once in a while. I'm also not completely bothered by it because I'm aware it's, a big part of life. And it's also things that I can't control and some things I can. So, hey, here's to doing the things about the things you can control. We have some guests who are going to be showing up, and if any guests are watching, what's up, Regular Cat Convo? Hey, and by the way, if you're not watching this live, you could check us out on iHeart Radio, on Regular Cat Radio, Mondays at noon, PST, I believe. Yeah, and we have some guests coming up, and if you are a guest and watching, feel free to show up whenever. But until we have guests, I'm going to pitch a rated R Smurf movie that I came up with. Ralph, Jean-Pierre, and I, who are the Stoner Morning Show regulars who live in New York City, we do a show every Monday night at the Tiny Cupboard in Brooklyn. And 10 a.m. Eastern on Monday, yes. Don just reminded me. Okay. Ralph and I do a show every Monday night at Tiny Cupboard, and I shared this rated R Smurf revenge flick idea there. But I'm going to share it here too. I'm going to do it a little concise. So, all right, the Smurfs. A lot of us grew up with the Smurfs. We know what they are. They're little blue creatures, tranquil creatures who live in the woods, but they're terrorized by an evil wizard and his cat, Gargamel and Azrael. All right, so now this is the adult version. We've grown up with the Smurfs. Now we're adults, so this is the adult story. The Smurfs are not as happy as they used to be, and it's because they've been terrorized by Gargamel for years, who wants to eat the Smurfs. Maybe at this point he's already... I'm jumping ahead. All right. He's been terrorizing the Smurfs. The Smurfs get together, like, what are we going to do? And somebody's like, we got to kill him. There's a big debate about whether that would make the Smurfs, if it would bring them down to a evil wizard level, But they, as a town, agree that it's the only way to do it. And they come up with a plan on how to kill Gargamel. In my mind, they set up some sort of crossbow thing, and, they get him in the sights of it. And the three Smurfs that it takes to pull the trigger, or however many, they can't do it. Maybe it takes two Smurfs to pull the trigger, and one of them backs out. And they're like, it's just, we can't bring ourselves to kill this person. And so one Smurf comes up with an idea, and they plan. You know that part in movies when we see characters secretly plan for something, and we don't know what the plan is, but then the rest of the movie, we see the plan get executed. So this is the plan. They trick Gargamel into thinking he caught a Smurf, and he's going to eat it, and he cooks it, right? And he's eating it, and he loves it. He loves how this Smurf tastes. He's been waiting his whole life to eat a Smurf, and he's finally doing it. And it's at that moment he realizes, when he calls out to Azrael, his cat, to let him know how joyful this moment is, he realizes he hasn't heard Azrael in quite some time. And then we realize that the Smurfs tricked him into eating his own cat. And so they traumatize Gargamel, and they let Gargamel know who they're really dealing with. Don't fuck with the Smurfs. Sorry to use language on a Saturday morning show, but I feel strongly about this idea. Anyway, but that's not the end of the movie. The movie ends showing a very cathartic festival and celebration that the Smurfs have in the Smurf village. All right. But the Smurf who came up with the idea for what to do writes a note and decides to impose a self-exile upon themselves, because while what happened needed to be done, they are a little disturbed that that idea came from within them, right? And that Smurf wants to be celebrated not for what they did, but for who they are. So that Smurf has to go out into the woods by themselves, ostracize themselves, find out who they are, go on a Smurf walkabout, to one day return to the Smurf village when they feel that they are ready and worthy to live amongst the other Smurfs. I'm tearing up a little bit because it sounds like a beautiful story and sets up what an amazing sequel. Maybe the sequel is just that Smurf alone in the woods. Who knows what they find? All right. Well, that's all I had prepared. I know that there are other people who are showing up eventually. So if you're watching and want to join, let me know. And okay, here's a comment, or comment is what I was going to say. Regular Cat Radio has never seen the Smurfs, but it sounds like the R-rated version would be amazing. I mean, it's for those of you who have not seen the Smurfs, it's not a Smurf story, but it is in keeping with the Smurf, I don't know, legend or vibe. I've been working on a play lately, full-length play. I think it's a drama. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Dave Vidal says we need a Michael Shannon Smurf. Damn, that's good. Gargamel is a vibe, totally. All right, our first guest is here. Let's give it up for Gregory Hall. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
Good. How's your Jersey City morning? Is that where you're joining us from?
Yeah, you know what? It's good. It's good. It's raining, or now I think it's now it's snowing. So it's snowing, raining, sleet, all kinds of.
I can see the window too, and I've seen both snow and rain, and I think I'm seeing both at the same time at the moment. Which, hey, why not in today?
You know what?
Bring all the weather.
You know what? It's funny. I woke up this morning and I had discovered. I must be really late. I just discovered this new app, Tubi.
Oh yeah.
There's like literally my entire childhood, far as movies, is on that app, and then I also have the Paramount Plus, so all the old school Nickelodeon. So this is going to be a very fun-filled nostalgia.
Yeah. What's on the Tubi thing that you? What's the blast from the past?
Well, my favorite movie of all time is on there. A movie called The Last Dragon. It's on there.
Oh yeah, Bruce Leroy, Shogun.
Yep. Yep. And then my favorite horror film of all time is on there, Tales from the Hood. So yeah.
The first time I saw The Last Dragon, I was a kid. It made me. I feel like in some ways, even though there's like ninja magic in it, it's the most realistic like martial arts magic movie. Because doesn't he at the end like
he gets the glow? Yeah. He gets the glow, and then I remember in the film, if you remember, the only other person to get the glow other than him, and also obviously Shonuff, was Bruce Lee himself. So it was kind of like also big homage to Bruce Lee. And I had a very big connection to that film because as a kid, that was the first time I ever saw like a black hero. So I actually saw myself. So it's, sentimental value.
Yeah. The reason I thought it was the most realistic is that like in other like martial art movies or ninja movies, like ninjas are doing like crazy stuff from the beginning, but he grew into the glow. Which I was like,
and you know what? If you really like study like martial arts, and because I've taken martial arts when I was younger, and I've pretty much martial arts almost my entire life, from Taekwondo as a kid to boxing to Muay Thai, Wing Chun, Kung Fu.
Wow.
talk about the chi and everything. So I kind of always looked at the whole glow is like the chi manifesting in the physical aspect. I'm trying to get all woo-woo, but you know what I mean? So yeah, it seems like the most realistic, but it's funny you mentioned that because at the same time while I love that film, it's not realistic because the main villain, right, who's one of my favorite villains of all time, right? Sure enough, he literally is walking around Harlem. Mind you, this is 1980s Harlem. This is not like new gentrified Harlem. He possibly could get away with it. You're just like, oh, maybe they're just cosplayers. Maybe there's Comic-Con in town or something. No, this guy like an 85 walking around in a Shogun outfit with a gang.
Yeah.
But what crazy is he had to be a badass dude because nobody messed with him. You're just like, that's just what they do.
That's right. He was the first Omar.
Yeah, he was. He was the first Omar, but like he was the first like Omar that I think the first Omar to just like have like all these crazy outfits. He had an entrance, a lion's robe, which was to this day is still lit. I still want that myself. But it's it's a classic, man. It's a classic.
Yeah, I could only do a lion's robe if it was a gift. I feel like if I bought that for myself, everyone would feel I'm trying to put out too much energy. You know what I mean? Too much ego.
All, if you bought a lion's robe, I would immediately think you were a drug dealer. I'd be like, wait a minute, where are you getting this money? No one's out on a Saturday afternoon and go, I'm just gonna buy a lion's robe. No.
Yeah. Don is watching, and he's in Newark at the moment. We never know where he's going to be. He's in Newark. It's sleet, but now turning to snow. So we've got a legit weather report today.
What's up, Brick City?
What's going on with your new year? Any good things that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, actually. Right now with a lot of the mandates and everything being lifted. All this stuff, and I mean, obviously, COVID's still out there, but he's kind of taking a bit of a backseat because of the situation going on in Europe. But just getting back out there, getting back on stage. I got a couple of shows coming up. Also, I'm working on some projects that I can't go too deep into it because I don't want to jinx it. But I will say that very excited. It's going into new territory. For me, far as being in this industry. So I'm excited to see where that's going to lead to. So it's going to be more on the comic book realm.
Nice.
And also, as far as short films and putting out online content and web series, really trying to build a production company as far as myself. Because I had started a production company about 2 years ago. This was right around the time when we were really deep in the pandemic, and a couple of friends of mine who I grew up with, who were also in show business but in different areas, decided to start our own production company, Camp Nas. But for whatever reason, it kind of went on hiatus, a little bit of a stalemate. Yeah. I'm doing the same thing essentially, but I'm doing it on my own. So it's a lot of work, but I'm very, very excited to see where it's going to go.
Well, now you have the first draft to be aware of. You know what I mean? So it's like you're farther ahead now than you were like in the midst of starting it the first time, I bet, in some ways,
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times when you go through something, you're just like, oh my God, I can't deal with this. But then once you're finished, you moved on, and then you can reflect. You can start like pinpointing like the mistakes that you made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I don't need to do again, and this is what I can improve on, and everything.
Yeah. Do you think you got funnier during quarantine?
I had to get funnier. I was going to lose my. I think you had to get funnier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, like you have no choice. Like what's funny? I was having a conversation with a very good friend of mine last night. We were FaceTiming. She's in Chicago. She's a comedian. Shout out to Dana Norris. Very funny. We had a conversation, and I said, if you're a comic, you can't come out of this whole situation for everything we've been through, far as the pandemic, to what was going on that summer of 2020 with Black Lives Matter and George Floyd and everything. And we remember how New York City for like the month of July was like a freaking war zone, and going to far as just dealing with all the shit with Trump, and now we're dealing with shit with the Ukraine and Russia. You cannot come out of this the same. You know what I mean? I feel like as far as an artist, if you come out the same artist that you went in, then you're not willing to take that chance, because there's no way. Like it was funny. I had went through a situation last year where I was just like going through stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm done with comedy. I'm walking away. And I had walked away for about a good 2 months. Like I was canceling shows and everything. But I had to really get my mental health. And it was funny. It was the best thing I did, because I think sometimes you have to ask yourself when you're going through something like that, like, is it my ego that wants it, or does my heart want it? And I had to take a step back to figure that out. And then one of the things I figured out was that I hated my material. It's like, I don't want saying this.
That's a tough thing to learn.
Right. Well, what's funny? The last show I did with you guys, a lot of people said I had a great set, and I had a great time. I love doing you guys' shows, one of my favorite shows to do. But I still left the stage like, I could have did better. I was just tired of my old stuff, because you just, like I said, you can't come out of this the same. So I'm really excited to get back on stage, because I have a lot of new material I really want to work on, a different perspective. And I really, after being in the game 8 years, I've really found out who I was on stage.
Yeah. How are you different? It's kind of a good conversation starter, maybe. How have you changed by this?
I've learned to now stand in my truth. I think in comedians, like far as like stand-up comics, they always say it takes 10 years to find your voice. And I think that's true, because, and I'm still learning. I'm like 8 years, you know what I mean? But, I think that you have to learn to stand in your truth, because when you find your voice on stage, then you can talk about anything.
Yeah.
Your voice is your point of view. So now I'm really tackling. Before, a lot of my material was very personal, and a lot of my material still is to a certain extent. But now I'm really going into social commentary,
right?
Going into that area and not being scared to go there, because as a comic, especially stand-up comic, that's my duty. You know?
Even in theory, it just sounds better. It's like I'm saying what I'm saying because it's like I'm driven to say it because I really believe it, or or this is really who I am. I mean, it's just like it's a better thesis statement for comedy and anything, really.
Right. And you know what the funny thing is it's about it's about authenticity for me now, because the crowd, man, they can sense it when you're not being authentic. You know. Like they it's like blood in the water. It's like sharks, man. Blood in the water.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. You have to be your authentic self. Like, I'll tell you a short story. One of the greatest advice a veteran comic has ever given to me. I think only 3 years in, and I was performing at a comedy club, and one of my mentors at the time was watching me. And I had a bit about, it's a really old bit, I don't do it anymore, but it's about like, I said, I had a pit bull, I had to put him down because he lost the fight.
Right.
That actually got the laugh. That was, people laughed in the audience.
Yeah.
And on stage, I'm talking to my mentor. She goes, now, why would you say that? Why would not? It's funny. She goes, I was like, people laugh. She goes, yeah, that's true. But she goes, why would you say that? She said, on stage, you are a very likable guy. You're very inviting and warm. So for you to say, I put down a pit bull because he lost a fight, I don't believe you. That's not authentic to you. You may have gotten a cheap laugh, but was that laugh really worth it if that wasn't you? Like, and I was like, you're right. I wouldn't put a dog down. I would hug a dog. Like, you know what I mean? So why would I say that? So now from that point on, And another mentor said to me, he's like, everything you do on stage has to have a purpose. So like now it's like if I'm on stage, even if I move my hand a certain way, there's a purpose of doing that. If I say a certain word, if I'm forming this joke a certain way, if I'm doing an act out and I'm going high and I'm going low, everything I do now has a purpose. If I'm doing crowd work and I'm asking a question, I genuinely want to know that question. I'm asking the audience member. I'm not just like, okay, let's see if I get a joke out of this. Like I want to know there, I can just, go wherever.
Right. I saw something. I've gone through my own head with that kind of stuff of like, why am I saying these jokes that work if I really don't believe them? It was like, I don't know, kind of a shock in some ways. But I saw something in the city that I can't get out of my mind. I mean, you see weird stuff all the time in New York. It's like sometimes just things don't make sense, But I was near like Target or whatever, 34th Street, Macy's. And this lady was walking down the street holding an Elmer's glue bottle and just squeezing it out on the ground. She was talking on the phone and just like squeezing a glue bottle out onto the ground for like 30 feet. Like I noticed her from far away and she was doing it the whole time. And she passed and she was still doing it. Like I have no clue what somebody said. Maybe it was liquor. Like maybe she had snuck liquor in a glue bottle to go to someplace, and then she just decided not to have it. But
when she squeezed it, was it coming out like glue though, or was it like coming out like liquid?
I mean, I was too shocked to register what was happening, but I think it was actual glue. It looked like white.
Listen, she could be a throwback. She could be a throwback drug addict. She could have been sniffing glue for all we know.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think they sell glue to kids that can get them off. I don't I don't know if sniffing glue would do anything, but
yeah, and I don't think you can sniff that glue. I mean, kids eat that glue for crying out loud.
Oh yeah. One thing. So yeah, you just discovered Tubi. I discovered Pluto TV at the height of the pandemic.
Oh, Pluto TV, love that. Here's the thing about Pluto though, that's weird. Like I'm obsessed with one channel.
Oh, okay. I have like 8 favorites, but I really only have 3. What's your one channel?
The channel that plays Bar Rescue. I'm a huge fan of Bar Rescue. I love John Taffer. I wish that dude would run for president. I would vote for him. I feel like this country. Like I love John Taffer. He's a funny dude, right?
Yeah.
Like, I used to have a bit like I was like, imagine John Taffer if he was running for president. Imagine if he was like really debating. Like I was like, I always wish that he was the guy that ran against Trump. Like I think he would.
Yeah, that's a good matchup. That's really good.
Great because I would have loved to see the debate because Trump. There was no logic to him, but John, he gets pissed, he starts yelling. So I can see him asking questions like that. So do you really think it was wise not to shut the country down with COVID? People sick. Like he would just go off the big ass fish lips he got. Like I love that show.
I'm somewhat familiar with the show. I've seen it a few times, but I used to have friends who lived in Silver Springs, Maryland, and I bet you've seen this episode. But I was visiting some friends, and they're like, "Hey, we got to go to the Pirate Bar." And
my God, remember that episode?
Yeah, it was a pirate bar that wasn't making money, so they turned it into like the office.
Yeah, it was like a businessman, and then like I think the owner wound up turning it back into a pirate bar.
Yeah. So we went there, and he was explaining it to me. He was like, "Oh, it was on an episode of Bar Rescue," and I was like, "Well, all right. It sounds like it's a pirate welcoming theme. I didn't expect for there to be pirate things happening when we arrived, but it was completely pirate things. Like all of the patrons were dressed as pirates, and they even had handed out like sheets with songs on it, and they were singing pirate songs."
Yeah, that sounds like somebody was sniffing glue when they came up with it.
Yeah.
Like I've been to like concept restaurants and stuff, but sometimes like I felt like on that episode they were going way too all in. Like not budging. And my favorite part of the episode is when I always love when he argues with the chef, and the chef could hear him. I get this shit. I feel he's like, you're an asshole. And then you just see it, John. That's Mr. He's just like, yeah, the phone stinks.
I mean, that guy's good because he does yell about like things that need to be yelled about. Like it's usually food safety or something like, or
oh yeah, well,
that's a big part of it. Like,
here's the thing about John Taffer I like. I really do think he actually genuinely cares. Like I really do. Like he really. This is my business. Like I'm putting my reputation on the line for this. Right. But Gordon Ramsay, that guy's a fucking asshole. Like,
oh yeah, it's weird because he seems like an asshole on like when he's doing competition shows.
Yeah,
but then when he does like his travel show, he seems like an incredible guy, kind of.
Right, like he has a kid. Like, and what kind of father is this man? Like,
right,
like I would not like just imagine having to cook breakfast for him. Like it's like Father's Day. You're just like, oh, Dad, I'm going to cook breakfast for my dad, who's Gordon Ramsay, who's a chef. And
right.
And he's like, this is utter shit. Utter shit. You haven't even cooked the eggs right. Your fucking donut. You know, you're supposed to buy your donut.
Right.
Poor kids crying in the corner.
I mean, I bet the kids and the wife just commiserate about how like intense he is once in a while. It's just like, yeah, we live with an intense guy. I don't know what to say.
Do you think they should do a show similar to that, but like a 420 version? Like it would be like this, like you go into like a dispensary that's shit. They have like the worst type of this bud. Like, would you do a show like that? I would do a show like that.
I would, but I don't know if those places exist that much because there's like regulation in each state. So I bet there's not a lot of like bad dispensaries. I don't know.
That's true. Maybe like they should do like, yeah, that's true. There wouldn't be. Well, no, there are some, not bad, but there are some like dispensaries. Like,
yeah, there's definitely room for improvement, but I don't know if you would find like bad ones. I don't know. I have thought of a show. Okay, I have 2 show ideas I'll pitch to you. Okay. One is a cooking show where at the end nobody gets to eat what they made. Because why are we watching people eat stuff that we're never going to be able to taste? In some ways, it makes no sense. Like, I feel like I would be compelled to make something if I saw somebody make it and then I saw them not get to eat it, because that's my experience.
You should totally do it where everybody has to get completely stoned before then, because that's much harder. Oh, hey, what's up, Samantha? What's up, Sam? Love you. That would be dope. Like if you just like get the munchies, but you can't eat it, that would be so hard.
Oh, that would be hard.
That would be hard.
The other idea I had, and I think my friend Dave Vidala and Valarie Apperson might be joining eventually. Anyway, my other idea is a nature documentary, where you don't have any experts talking about the animals. You just have stoners reacting to the animals.
See, I would love to do that.
Yeah, I think Snoop Dogg might have done something like that.
He did do some. Oops, sorry. He did do something like that, similar. But I would love to do something like that. I think that would be.
Here's Bill.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
I just hopped in late on that. What are you guys talking about?
Well, we were talking about Bar Rescue for a little while.
Oh, that guy sucks.
He sucks?
Well,
John Taffer.
I love John Taffer. He's amazing.
We need more butt funnels.
That guy's great. He cares. Okay. But don't talk about John Taffer. Okay.
Oh,
guy's done. That guy has saved lives. Okay.
I don't know, man.
I bet that's true.
I looked up his like successes and like his failures, and it's not a good rate.
Listen,
but the failures happen after he leaves.
That's true. That's true.
Listen, he gets you to the promised land, but you gotta take care of your business.
You gotta keep going. Yeah, I guess. I mean, they shouldn't take out the butt funnel. I think that's where they all go wrong.
I don't know what that's a reference to.
It's every bar he goes into, he creates a butt funnel. And it's basically like they'll have a dance floor and he makes like a real narrow space where people have to like squeeze through and it forces like human contact. Not very good this day and age. And I don't think that aged well.
I get it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard that term on his show. I've seen the show a few times.
Oh, he says it a lot.
Greg, my favorite Pluto TV channel, not so much anymore, but it was the American Gladiator 24-hour American Gladiator channel.
Oh God,
dude! Can I just tell you how like with all like, because nostalgia is huge right now, and like you have all of these streaming apps that have all these old shows that we watched as kids. Literally, there have been days like this. I've like on the days like, okay, it's shitty. I'm not really doing nothing this morning. I would literally recreate my childhood with the shows I watched exactly. So I remember American Gladiators coming on after, because I'm a big wrestling guy. It would come WWF Superstars. It would come on at 1. So like when I first got Pluto TV on a Saturday, if I was home at 1, I would put on the old school American Gladiators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out by me, it came on Saturday night. It was a Saturday night show at like 1 a.m. or midnight or something.
Who's your favorite gladiator?
So you had to choose between Saturday Night Live or American Gladiators.
Malibu.
Sometimes do both. So my favorite gladiator, I think Laser is the best one. He's the one everybody likes.
Well, he's it's him and Nitro are like the big guys. But Nitro. Come on, Malibu was funny as shit.
No, I meant to say Nitro. Nitro is everyone loves Nitro. Yeah.
Yeah. I was a big Gemini guy. Because he was like one of the few I think he was like the only black dude at the time. And
former football player too, I think.
Yeah, and I'm a Gemini, so he called himself Gemini. So I was like, yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't know.
If there was a Pisces, I would go with that. I'd be like, oh, that's my dude.
Hell yeah, Pisces.
If they all had like astrological signs, like, do you think you'd be forced to go with that one?
Well, I mean, the tall woman was called Sky, so they weren't all astrological.
No, but I'm saying if they were, hypothetically speaking.
I would go with Pisces. If that's what people want to call me, I guess. Yeah. I guess it's a Pisces response.
Did you guys ever watch the newer one when it came out a couple years ago?
I had a little. I actually had a little party. I invited people over and had like booze and shit. And weed. I made a big deal about it. I'll never forget Hulk Hogan coming up. He like raised up. Let me see if I could do it. He like came up from like a rising platform, but like it was really rickety because he gets up and he's like, he comes up. He's like in the pose. I don't have much space, but like when he stops, it's like, like
that was good.
Detracted from the whole like his whole pose and everything. It just took away from it completely.
You know, it's funny you brought up Hulk Hogan because I'm a big wrestling guy and I watched wrestling since I was 3. And I came across this video. Oh my god, hilarious! You don't realize how like gay wrestling really is.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like these old promos, older promos, like back in the they call it the Federation era, and those guys were hopped off of steroids and coke. And Hulk Hogan's like cut this promo. He's like, I'm gonna start by cranking your knob just beyond the breaking point. And I'm like, talking about
interesting.
They would say stuff like that. They'd be like this. Well, Mean Gene, when I get him in the ring and I begin to touch his body, I'm going to hold on to him and I'm going to wrap that snake around his throat. And
there's Dave Vidala.
Oh, hey, guys.
Hey.
How's it going?
Hey, is that a Star Wars shirt?
Yeah, sure is. This is anchoring in for the...
wow.
Yeah,
Right.
I forget where.
Good call.
I think I got.
I'm embarrassed that I knew that just from the top. I'm embarrassed.
All the clothing I wear, this gets the most compliments, hands down. People like will wink and be like, "Yes," and it's a great shirt. I can admit my strengths. I have a couple good shirts. I'm actually next to my bureau. We can get into some other ones later. But you guys doing good this morning?
Doing great.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I have breakfast to look forward to. Usually when I do this, I eat breakfast before, but now I have breakfast to look forward to after. I'm excited.
Nice. I have too. I know I'm going to get the munchies after this. I have not eaten yet, so I think girls, if I smell bacon, is on.
That's how it happens. My breakfast was actually extra magical this morning. From our thanks to our, I can't speak right now. Thanks to them, our friends at Hopzilla Edibles added some of this to my coffee this morning.
Oh yeah,
that's breakfast for a while. It's pretty good. Supporter of the Stoner Morning Show, and likewise of the Hopzillas. Shouts.
Yeah, that's the infused sugar you put in coffee. Yeah. I've had it.
That's cool.
It's
yeah. Right, mainly.
What's that?
So you're mainly like an edible guy, right? Like I know you like to cook edibles.
I mean, I wouldn't say mainly, but I guess mostly. But yes, I ate a brownie this morning. If I can share, it's good.
That's breakfast.
Gotcha, bitch. No.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. You're right.
It's a breakfast.
I'll take that. I'll take that loss.
My girlfriend, she makes her own can of butter, and it's amazing. And was it? we had a together to go to, but she was cooking lunch. She goes, "You want me to add a can of butter?" I was like, "Yeah, add it in." Which was a mistake because like 20 minutes after I ate, I had the best nap of my entire life. Woke up like, "Oh, we're gonna be late." But I love the can of butter because you can just add it to anything that you cook.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah, and
I got a stick just hanging out. I gotta make some brownies here for my uncle.
Have you guys ever did microdosing? Far as like, because sometimes like we microdose. We had shrooms, but we were microdose shrooms. We added it in the pink Himalayan salt. So when our food, we would just microdose shrooms. So and then like it kind of gave like a very nice euphoric high.
Okay, I have a question. In doing this, when you had shrooms in your Himalayan salt, did you ever have a meal that didn't taste great, but it still felt awesome? Like maybe of course they don't kick in that quick, but did it ever offset a bad tasting meal?
Just like honestly, and I'm actually being honest. I'm not saying this because my girlfriend's in the next room, but my girl's a really good cook, so we have not had that problem, and I cook pretty well too. So we haven't had that problem. So it's always been like it tastes good, and you get that nice, wavy, euphoric, relaxing high.
I've always wanted to try that. There's a comic around here who's been recommending I do that, and I've had a bag on my also from a Stoner Morning Show event that's just been taunting me. Like I want to use it, and I feel like microwing might be the best way about it. Guy Josh Goldstein like swears by it, and he's like So
I have a suggestion. If you have these and you don't know what to do with them, I say pick a day on your calendar like a month from now, and that's when you start. So you're looking forward. You know what you're going to start, and you're looking forward to it.
I like that.
Or let them sit there like I've done with some stuff for the last 5 months. Either or. Bill, what are your thoughts?
I was thinking about irrational fears I had.
Do you want to?
That's actually what my thoughts are.
Do you want to give us 2 fake ones and 1 real one, and we have to guess which is the real one?
Man,
I know.
I'm on that super silver haze right now, and it's good stuff. So let's see. Clowns.
Okay.
Banana peels.
All right.
And taking a shit alone.
All right, I have my answer.
Head scratcher.
Yeah, all right, I have my answer. I don't know who else wants to go.
All right, I've got my answer locked in.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I'll write it down. I'll write it down.
Okay. Greg, do you have yours?
I have mine.
All right, and And Valarie is here. We'll ask her if she has heard it. If she hasn't, she doesn't get to play along. But Valarie, did you hear the question?
No.
Okay, actually, Bill, you should repeat it. He's sharing 3 irrational fears, and we're gonna guess which one is true. 2 of them are fake.
Oh, okay.
Shit, now I gotta remember.
Yeah.
I remember
Clowns, banana peels, or taking a shit alone.
Which is the real irrational fear? We all wrote it down. I have mine.
So again, that's clowns,
Yeah.
banana peels, and taking a shit alone.
I'm ready with my answer.
I'm ready. I have my answer.
Okay. I wrote the shit one.
Okay. Okay.
That was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I would go with, just based on my reaction on saying it.
Yeah.
Plus, yeah, I used to have this irrational fear of taking a shit. What you got?
What did Dave write down? I can't see it. Banana
peels.
Knew it.
Did you deface a book to write that? That looked like an important book.
No.
It's a first copy of Grapes of Wrath. Don't worry about it, man.
Exactly. Yeah. I just buy a bunch of books and I read 3 pages and I'm like, wow, and then I just buy another book. But it's the Star Wars psychology book, and good. It's like good, good pop, good bathroom book.
Yeah.
But yeah, so which is the real?
I was taking a shit alone when I was younger. I used to. I sent a gift from Ghoulies 2 where the ghoulie is coming out of the toilet and he like bites a guy's ass. And then it completely reminded me of like this fear where like I was always scared that my ass was going to get tore up by either Freddy Krueger or a ghoulie. So my parents used to have to like stand outside the bathroom and watch me shit. But then they got tired of that. So they used to make my sister, 3 years older than me, have to stand there and watch her like 3-year-old brother take a shit. For and I take a while, I enjoy my time.
Okay, let's all guess, what year did you end that fear?
Oh yeah.
How old were you when that fear ended?
I need a pen.
Are we all taking guesses or?
Yeah, I wrote my answer down.
Okay.
How you were, and you might not remember exactly, but
I wrote my answer down.
okay. Who's got one?
19.
12.
Ooh, all right.
6.
12.
I also wrote 6.
What?
Sorry guys, I still shit with the door open.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
still
not
going.
a year.
Now it's snakes. I've seen too many YouTube videos.
Let me ask you a question. Did you freak out in that scene and Look Who's Talking To with the talking toilet?
I did not. I actually laughed.
Oh, okay. See, I thought that would have got you because he.
No, it made me happy. It was because he wanted to eat the poop. He was like, "Feed me your poop," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, he's just hungry. He's not angry."
Valarie, do you know that movie?
No, of course not.
Oh. Just a question.
The masterpiece.
Yeah.
You could. I think if you have the Criterion app,
What movie
it'll
is
be
it?
on there.
Look Who's Talking To, or
Yeah.
It's part of the Criterion collection. It's with the red balloon and all that. Seventh Seal.
I'll have to watch this.
I thought it was Look Who's Talking Now. Are you talking about the dog one or the baby?
No, that's Look Who's Talking Now. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's Look Who's Talking To. TOO, because that was big in the 80s.
Yeah.
You like one baby?
Grammar?
Grammar, yeah, they were big on grammar and cocaine.
Nothing more. There's nothing better than snorting a line and doing some grammar.
I did
have the pirate restaurant some more, the pirate bar.
Can I talk about it?
No, okay, you guys were talking about, and like I especially liked how you guys were talking about Ramsay's family like doesn't like him, and I could totally see them conspiring against him. Just like there's a lot of knives around, like.
Oh yeah.
Right there. But also too on that specific episode, the pirate bar, he was like bullying those people. Like, yes, they have skewed not common with like a lot of people, but like especially at the end, like when it went from a pirate bar to being called like the corporate cafe, and the logo was like a guy in a suit. Like he was pushing the cigarette into their body, the lit cigarette, and he's just like, "Hey, fucking deal with it."
Right.
So I have a lot of thoughts about that episode in particular.
I remember the pirate bar one. I remember that. That was a good one.
Yeah.
And you're right. I agree with you 100%.
I felt like even when he turned it into like that whole corporate bar, like that was the fucking thing. Like it was just way too like it's like a business suit. We're trying to go in a. I'm like, if you're trying to join a business crowd, just put some fucking blow on the goddamn bar, bar at the bar, and you'll get all the fucking Wall Street bros in there. Like you don't need to have some guy in a suit and a brief. Just put some dust, put some like cocaine dust on the freaking bar, and they'll come running and swarming in.
Put like little mirrors in the bathroom stalls.
Right.
They should have one of those mascots, but it's just a straw, like a short little.
A little straw.
Right.
Yeah, like you gotta hire a short person.
Yeah.
Do you also see that meme that says like, "Please don't do coke in our like establishment" or something? A lot of times on sign. Has anyone seen? I feel like you would want people doing coke in your restaurant. Like that adds a certain cachet, no?
Yeah. People are having a good time if they're doing coke in your restaurant.
Well,
yeah, that's big business.
I'll give a counterpoint. I've never had fun being near somebody who's on cocaine.
Well, you have to be on cocaine too.
It's never fun for me.
Right.
That's all I'll say about that.
Sean, I could just picture you being like, "I already told you I don't want to fight you." Someone totally like you're both just minding your own business. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, no, this guy is rampant to places. The cocaine guy,
right? And that might be on me. I grew up with Miami Vice, so I grew up thinking that like these people were bad, you know. So that might be my own deal, that I don't like people who use cocaine around me.
Now I'm picturing you sockless and loafers and ankle cut pants, fucking all dressed up like Miami Vice, just hanging out at a bar.
Oh,
influenced by him.
You know, there is school pictures of me wearing kind of like a Miami Vice type of motif.
You gotta share that.
I'll ask my sister. I think I had a Hawaiian shirt and then a pink blazer on over it.
Nice.
Yeah. 3rd grade.
Seems like you were doing cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like the outfit of a coked out child.
Maybe they were microdosing you with coke as a kid. They were like,
maybe.
Like when he was like, "Oh, what is this, powdered donuts?" Like, yeah, it's a powdered donut. It's like it's not sweet. It's like Colombian donut. And this is microdose you. Now you're just like, coke's not for me.
I don't want to get too much into my childhood crimes, but there was a stretch of time when I also did sell bus tickets to other kids that I got from the city for free. So I could take the public bus to school. And then I used that money to buy comic books. I don't want to get into it.
That's amazing.
That is
like
I was scamming the system.
I wish I could have did that as a kid, but then I just would have got robbed. So
Valarie, you joined us the latest. So what's going on with you? We're gonna defer to you.
I don't know. I spent all night painting and listening to stuff about the multiverse. Just because me and my friend were talking about having kids, and sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. And I was like, well, there's a reality where you had the kid and it got kidnapped 3 years later and died. So don't worry about that abortion. And then I started painting about it. And I don't know. It's a snowstorm, pretty cozy day, and been pretty cool hanging out with you guys, talking about Sean's crimes that he can no longer be prosecuted for.
That's true.
Nice timing, Sean. Nice.
Yeah.
Ring at CIA headquarters.
Yeah. Let me show you the snow. Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah, weather.
Oh wow.
Have you guys seen weather before?
Not that weather. Not specifically that weather.
Yeah, I don't want to even show you guys out my window. It'll just depress the shit out of everyone. Just like one of those gray, no weather. It's like no weather. It's approximately zero weather. Just like
So it's like 70.
Kind of gross. Like or probably 39ish, 41. You know, it's whatever. We're talking weather.
I could get into some whatever weather.
Hot weather talk. I know. Who's in the warmest location?
I'm well. Valarie is the most southern, but it's snowing there now. So
yeah,
I'm at the Jersey Shore. It's raining.
Can you say it with a better Jersey accent?
What?
Can you say Jersey Shore but with a better Jersey accent?
I get. No. I thought that was my Jersey accent.
I'm in Jersey.
Okay.
Do you mean like Joyzy when people say that? Oh, everybody hates that down here.
Jersey.
I knew you would hate that.
I usually call it like the dirty Jers, you know, like down in Jersey. I'm down at the shore.
Yes, that's what my heart was craving. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you say cash?
Oh shit! I got him going.
Jersey.
No. Hey man, we're good.
What if I move to New York and I pretend to be from Jersey, but I have a really bad Jersey accent the whole time?
You just gotta hang out there for like all of like a day, and then
but it'll be like
hang out there, get drunk, and it'll come out. Me, it comes out super hard when I'm drunk.
All you gotta do is just watch the first season of The Sopranos and just say gabagoo.
That's it.
It's like gabagoo.
Brajul.
Yeah, wait, Bill. Can you say cash the way Tony Soprano says? Like he goes quiche.
Quiche.
Beautiful.
Quiche. Mila Quiche.
I'd like to share that that Super Bowl commercial where Meadow Soprano was driving into the state.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most excited I was during the Super Bowl. I thought that commercial was great.
Yo, you know that lobster place I went to started making bank off of that commercial?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like a bunch of people started going to that, like the restaurant in the background in the parking lot where they meet up. They did a report on like ABC or whatever.
Man, people have too many options. Like that's how. How do we choose where to eat?
Yeah.
Well, you remember that car commercial?
Well, I don't know. It proves that commercials work, I guess.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I guess commercials work. Does anyone have anything they want to plug? I guess plug it. We have like 7 minutes left. Who's got something to plug?
I got a show.
I'll do the brave thing and go for super self-indulgent. I think Sean already knows what I'm talking about here, what I'm going to bring up. I am the host of a podcast called The Comics Feature, where comics come on, we talk about movies, we spoil it at the end of the show. It's a lot of fun. It's The Comics Feature, wherever podcasts are available. I actually just released a best of episode specifically for, people who aren't familiar, kind of get a vibe of the show. Like if this one, if the segment isn't good, it's like, hey, there's the next one that's coming. So it has a lot of chances to survive in your ears, and I hope it does. And I hope you guys come on the show. If you like it, please follow at The Comics Feature. These are a ton of fun, most notably on the episode the intrepid host of Stone Morning Show appears, Sean Wickens. I think you make a couple appearances on the episode.
I got halfway through it and I heard myself once, so you might be right.
Well, you are nominated for an award, my friend. This is the special Best of Oscars special, where I talk about, different. So I give out awards for people for like things like best story told on the podcast, best reenactment, my biggest joke bomb of the year. They all sprinkled in, and there's also like 10 minutes where I just talk about the Oscars for best picture this year, the nominees for best picture. Curious if anyone has a best picture favorite that they enjoyed. But
Tick Boom, I think.
Oh, that's not nominated for best picture, you nerd.
Oh, all right. I do like that movie.
I'm going to watch that today.
Yeah. All right, the comics feature. Good. Going first.
It's a podcast about movies.
Yeah, comedians come on and we like rip on movies and like
new movies.
What about comedians that don't know anything about movies?
Even better. Yeah.
Okay.
Al, let's
yeah.
And it's cool to zoom in, and these are just a ton of fun. I think. But yeah, check us out on Instagram at the Comics Feature, and we'd love to have you guys anytime. And
could you share a link in the comments?
For sure.
Yeah.
Actually, so my name is my Instagram in the literally under my name or under my face.
Okay.
Or sorry, this guy.
Oh yeah, at Dave Vidala. Greg, do you have anything coming up that you want to?
Oh, actually, yeah. So tonight I'm going to be on this other podcast called Muckville. That's at Muckville Radio. MUCKVILE Radio. And this guy just is super funny. He rips on local comics, but like very hard. It's a great. He criticizes cringe culture, and it's great. It's a great show. I'm happy he's going to have. I think you guys would enjoy that as well. Going to be talking about some bad apples in the New York comedy scene tonight.
Whoa.
Going to be or just one.
Huge.
Sexual assault is bad, kids, and.
Oh, it's that kind of thing. Oh, it's not an ironic
thing.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's not like, Joe Bro is not funny. Leave. Nothing like personal like that. It's just like, be a good person, everybody. Like, we're all supposed to be. This is a fun community. Let's keep all the other bullshit out. And so, Muckville Radio and Tony Muck.
Got it.
Yeah,
Greg?
I actually have a couple shows coming up. So if anybody's in Jersey on the 27th, I'll be in Teaneck at Absalon. I'll be performing there. It's a great venue. They have hookah. They have they have pre-rolls, great infused food. I'll be performing there. And then if you guys are going to be in New York, next Thursday, I'll be in Brooklyn at the Tiny Cupboard in Bushwick at 10 p.m. So come on out. That's going to be a good time. So so if you in the tri-state area, come out and holler at me. You can find me. That's my Instagram handle right there at Gregory Cushington. I post all my shows and all my announcement. And also follow me on Twitter at Gregory Hall 5000.
Bonus. Bill, Val, anything you want to share at the end?
I have one show. I have a show in Durwood, Maryland on March 26th at the pizza party. It's at Sam's Pizza. So if you're anywhere near Durwood, Maryland, come on down.
Nice.
Yeah.
This reaches there.
Yeah. I'm sure they have a large stoner population in Durwood, Maryland.
It's possible.
I've never been there actually, so I don't know.
Got it. Okay. Well, tonight I'm helping. I'm working the door at an event. It's in East Harlem, and it's a woman's focused cannabis friendly event. Message me, I guess, or just Google me. You'll find it. It's available. Mondays at the Tiny Cupboard, me and Ralph hang out in front of people. And on April 20th, we're doing a show in Queens at Amazura for the New York Cannabis Fest. All right. people can. Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
All right. Well, good work, everybody. I hope this was enjoyable.
This was fun. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
It was nice meeting everybody.
Bye.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to end it right at an hour. Bam.
Beautiful.
Woo!